you couldn't cue any more stimulation. You're like, cue loud, like art cars and lights and lasers that look like they're going to in outer space and fire everywhere. Just fire, just rockets of fire and
lasers,
going to the
lights
lasers and
way into
this
the
and
sky.
booming and this. And then when they're burning the man, it's like unqualified, unsolicited, and totally honest opinions on midlife. We took our family to Burning Man, like our kids, the whole gamut. And we've been getting so many questions from our friends and like shock and awe and like, tell me more about it. Tell me all about it. So we definitely had to do an episode about it.
Yep.
Yep. And like, I guess we start with why. Why we went is because you went in 2018.
Yeah. I went for a job.
Yeah.
And we were shooting mostly during the day. So we kind of didn't really get to explore during the day, but at night we got to go out, which was fun. But my brother's also been going for, umpteen years, and same with a couple of my really good friends. So it's always been in our sphere.
Yeah. And it was on your bucket list. You just kept saying you wanted me to go with you,
And I think you didn't necessarily want to go because there was a time when our brother was living with us in like our back garage area. It was one of his first Burning Mans, and he went and he came back and just spilled all his stuff all over our yard. And the dust there, they call it the Playa dust, is like super hard to get out of anything it touches. It's just like it basically cements itself to whatever it touches.
Yeah.
And I think his gear was sprawled all over our yard for maybe longer than you want it. And so like your perception, right, was...
Yeah. Well, I think most people's perception of Burning Man is like, oh, it's crazy people. Oh, it's naked people. Oh, it's, like, I think it's mostly negative. I think it's like, why would you guys that you're somewhat normal, like, why would you ever want to go to this crazy place? And it's
so fun.
It's so, I love stirring the pot. I love doing something out of the norm. I love that and what's funny is that it was for Labor Day weekend. We usually have been lucky and gone camping with our friends. And then it just fell apart this year. And I believe it was kismet and then you were like, well, then let's go to Burning Man. And I was like, okay, but let's bring our kids. And we were like, okay. And then we found an RV and that we were like, this looks like it'll get us there.
Yeah. I was nervous because if you rented it, I was nervous that maybe the Playa Dust would ruin one. And then I wouldn't want to I'd be paying a lot for it. So we got a really cheap one, rolled the die.
Yeah. And things just kind of started working out. Our youngest was free because kids 12 and under.
Yeah.
And then the minute we were like, yes, let's do it. Then I started questioning myself, like, is this horrible parenting? Are we going to regret this? We could have stayed for the amount of money we spent on this. We could have gone on a really nice week-long Hawaiian vacation.
You think?
I feel like
I don't know about that.
I
don't know about that.
Anyway, but
we'll sell the RV, so then that will be a wash.
Okay, but anyway, we could have done other things. It's not.
I think anything in life you could always do other things. It's always this or that.
Totally. But I was also very excited and intrigued because it was something that was on it meant a lot to you.
To see it.
And I trust you. And then the more. It was like layers started coming of like, oh, and there's a craft camp for kids and lots of kids go.
Yeah.
And it's kind of choose your own adventure at Burning Man. Like,
they had a full-on trampoline park there that person and
they had a trampoline park. They had a roller skating. But anyway, so we decided to go. The more we were letting it out with friends, they were like, what? And just we're getting really interested and excited, thinking we were crazy.
Well, I think a lot of people, they immediately think like hedonistic thoughts. And it's like this big like sex thing. And it's like, maybe it's there. It wasn't there for me when I was there. It wasn't there for us this past week. I think just like anything, it's a city of like 80 to 90,000 people. You could probably find anything you want.
Totally.
If you go hunting for it.
Totally.
It's not in our cards, And so I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you're gonna go the orgy tent or whatever. And that's I don't even know if there was. I don't even know if there is.
And it's just funny I try and with anything, I really try and formulate my own opinion.
Yeah.
And especially if I haven't been there.
Yeah.
Of like, and you had been and you had a good experience. And then of course other people are like, oh, well, so-and-so went and they hated it. And it's like, cool. Well, I'm not so and so, and we'll see what our adventure is going to be like.
Yeah,
You know?
I think with anything you have to have an open mind.
Yeah.
So if you're going kind of closed off or like show me or prove to me that it's good, it's probably not for you.
Right.
It can be, it's hard to get there.
Yeah.
It's hard to survive there.
Yeah.
You're totally on your own. You need to bring in everything that you need. It can be really
It's not like there's
dusty.
hookups.
No.
Yeah.
It can be really, it can be hot. It can be really cold. It's like it tests you at different levels. But it is so fun, and the art and the music, and I love the lights and the lasers, and
our kids love
God.
art and music. So we thought, you know what, they're going to have a lot of fun. We weren't going the full time. I mean, it lasts like you could go for 8 days. We were going from Friday to Sunday
because it's cool. So
because it's school.
We left, so we had practice for soccer and football Thursday night, and then at 10 o'clock we loaded it in the RV. Everybody slept, and I drove straight. Took us 10 hours to get there. There was no gate line because we're rolling in. We rolled in at like 7:30 on Friday morning. So there was no line. The gate can be incredibly long or incredibly short depending on when you're coming and weather and all that.
And when you roll up, you're like, I know I'm somewhere not normal. It is weird because you were in the middle of nowhere and it's this desert, and then you just start to see things in the air and like these random structures. You feel like you've entered Mars.
Yeah, my brother always says it's like Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's like a Star Wars world where, you know, like in Star Wars, they always land and they're like, oh, what is it? You know, you're looking with wide eyes and it's that. And it's, and it is so expansive. Like you just don't even know. You can't articulate to anybody until they go how big it is when you go in there. It is wild. And fortunately, my brother and a lot of our really good friends, they had a camp there, so they had a parking spot for us. So we just kind of rolled right in.
Yeah, we were lucky.
We had they treated us really well.
Yeah.
Like we were in with some people that had been going for over 20 years.
Yeah, so we kind of had like tour guides on Mars. Like, and it's great because I love that we could just pull in, hop on our bikes, and then you just go. And and it was neat, especially for our kids, because we were like, you lead, because you're heading out into the Playa, which is like all the camping. You said it's like a clock. So half the clock is where the camps all the people camping are. And then the front of that is like all the cool Esplanade, like camps. And you have a roller skating rink and the like different cool things that you can do and a half pipe.
And everything. Most things are interactive, you know, to some degree. You can climb on and
nothing's like do not touch and all this. It's out in the middle of nowhere. And so it was cool because our 11-year-old was just like, wow. And she just we were following her on our bikes, and then she's stopped on some cool art piece, and we, stops and climbs on it, and we're like, wow, this is cool. And then, we just kind of adventured like that.
Yeah, you just
it was neat because you're exploring, even though you had been there before, you didn't get to go out during the day.
Different.
And it's different every year.
Yeah. There are some installations that come back that are the same, but it's different. It's just different. And the way that it moves, and the way that like on the Playa, they have all the art cars that move. So it's not the same from one night to the next day or whatever. Right. It all kind of evolves.
And I think it's fun as a family to go experience it for the first time, quote unquote, together, because you're all on the same plane. Like you're just all like in it. And I appreciated, and I think one of our hugest things that we were blown away by our kids, because we're kind of like, well, I hope they have fun, is they just came with like curiosity and fun. And it is so that perfect experience in life, because it's what you look for and is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
If you want to look for the crazy people or the naked people and be like, oh, see, they do, and see, there's that, you're going to see it. You can find it easily.
Yep.
And then, or if you look for the cool art and the cool things to go do and the trampoline thing that they're flipping around on, you're going to find it. And that's what they did. And it was neat because I feel like I had a lighter side because of them, because it was like they were leading us through.
Yeah, and then so we did the day, and then that first night, it's akin to when we lived in Hollywood and there was like a big like event going on, like Oscars or something. There was kind of an energy in the air you could just feel.
Well, it's like totally different. It's like the same space, but couldn't look more different.
Oh yeah,
because here you have like plain canvas art pieces popping, and then all of a sudden you don't see anything except for neon lights.
Oh, it just comes to life.
Moving cars, and you're just like, oh my God. And granted, for me at first as a mom, I was like, okay, during the day there's less people out and about.
Sure.
And then at night you have close to 80,000 people going around, and it is chaos, but it's the
It
most calm chaos.
flows. It's
It
interesting.
flows because there's so much space. So yes, there's 80,000 people, and we've all been to big concert venues where there's tens of thousands of people, but it was like calm in a way because you
Yeah.
have your space. People were very like cool about it, and no one's like in a hurry. You're just kind of like, oh, I'm going to there, but
Flowing.
like I'm just flowing around you, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah, like bikes
schools of
aren't hitting
fish.
each other. The only time
Yeah,
you see people go down is like there's hard parts of the playa, and then there'll be areas where we call beaches that are softer sand, and you can just be going, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, and then it
yeah.
like goes, you know. But yeah, no, like we did good. We went cruising around with my brother and his friends and stuff. So there's maybe like a 10, 12 of us or 15.
Yeah.
It depends, you know, at
Yeah.
the time. So we had this mob that would just kind of just roam and
Yeah.
just go.
And then you'd stop and look at something, and there's
Yeah.
like so much fire, so much fire. So our kids are like, and you pull onto this, like up to this exhibit, and it's like birds out of metal. And then it's like, push here. And then you just push it, and it's like,
Big
like
fire.
huge
Yeah.
flame coming out. And our kids are like, oh my goodness, like otherworldly. For
Yeah,
sure.
it's really neat. The art I love, and it's I feel like it's so generous of people, the artists, to do,
Yeah.
because it's either they're getting grants or donations, or they're just doing it out of their own love.
Yeah.
And just to come showcase it. And a lot of the bigger ones, the artist would just be there kind of just smiling and watching. And, hey, what do you think? And you're like, it's so cool, you
Yeah.
know? And
I think they were
Yeah,
delighted that
to
there
share.
was kids
Oh,
too
sure.
that
Yeah,
were like, yeah, people like really, I think, appreciated that they were into it, that they were, you know, it's like the
Yeah.
next generation. And I just really was blown away by like all these misconceptions, which you can have, and you'll, like we said, you'll go find them, but
Yeah.
that I was like, and then you have like, you pull on to this library that's cut in half, and then there's a wedding, and then after the wedding, here comes a cool art car with snow cones and shave ice, which is really appreciated because it was hot, and our kids were like, just needed that refuel, and then boom, onto like some giant cool slide, and then boom,
Yeah.
onto something else, and you're just like,
Yeah.
where are we? Like, so many times during the day, I'm like, this is, you can't find this anywhere else. And then at night, it's like you're in this like sensory overload in a cool way where you're like, you couldn't cue any more stimulation. You're like, cue loud, like art cars and lights and lasers that look like they're going to in outer space, and fire everywhere, just fire, just rockets of
Yeah.
fire, and
Lasers,
going to the
lights
lasers
shining
and
way into
this
the
and
sky.
booming and this. And then when they're burning the man, it's like, you know, it's just,
So that's Saturday night.
Yeah.
When the man burns, it's everyone circles around it. You're safe and far enough back, and they make sure that everyone stays
it's
away.
controlled chaos.
But then there's people, and then behind the people is all the art cars surround the people. So it's this huge donut, and it's just coming from behind you, this wave of sound from all the art cars, which is like, you would think if you played like 6 different songs in the same room, it would be just weird. But for some reason, it has this chaotic harmony, and it all just turns into this wall of sound and lights, and it is wild. And the fireworks show, and I've seen good ones in my day. This is the best I've ever seen.
Yeah. So then their fireworks are going off, and then they light the man on fire with a boom that, like, what was that, propane,
This is
or
an
like
explosion.
a explosion?
3 big fire.
Yeah, fire bombs going off, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, and there's something. And
yeah.
And I think the man was 40 feet for the platform, and then he was another 30 feet above that to the top of him. So you're talking about a structure that's reaching 70 feet in the air, on fire, which normally you would never. I mean, we were joking that, like, if we ever saw that in real life, you would be like, we got to pack our bags and get out, you know?
Yeah.
But like here, you're seeing the fire devour that structure.
Yeah.
And it's huge timbers.
There are people there. Like, there's, you know, they have safety protocols, and
yeah,
you just don't. It's just not annoying for the people there. It's just like you see them around, but
there's the federal agents that are there. There's
Yeah.
the Black Rock Rangers, which is, you know, Burning Man's, you know, I don't want to say police force, but they're
security
to help make sure you don't get in trouble or do anything dumb.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's emergency services if you're to get hurt.
Yeah.
But it's wild. But it's not wild as in like anarchy, like what I think it was when it first started. As much, you know, it's more controlled and more like, I didn't feel like ever Did you ever feel like our kids were in danger? Never felt
Never.
like we were in a bad
Never.
spot?
I
Never
felt like if anything, people were I feel like they probably treated us nicer because they saw us with kids.
Yeah,
And
man.
I love that one guy, your brother's friend, but I don't know him that well, but he was just at the end. It's like we got street cred or something from him. He's like, you guys are cool. And I was like, thank you. And cause you come, cause I was worried. I was like, what are we doing? Are we going to like, are our kids going to see something they can't unsee? You just worry as a parent.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I'm like, we are cool because as our world is changing and evolving and like so much is going on, I feel like if our kids can handle this, I don't know why it makes me emotional, but
Yeah. Huh. Why?
I don't know. I might just be an emotional state, but
No,
I'm like probably tired.
well,
But I feel like the world is crazy. Like and especially more and more society is trying to, people are becoming real big individuals and like we want to raise good human beings and we want to raise human beings that are like, you do you. If you're a good you, I don't care what you look like, what you act like. I don't care. You just be a good human being.
yeah.
And so this is the epitome of that.
Yeah.
And so to see our kids like completely rock this and not judge and not be like, oh my gosh, this or this. And they just did awesome. I'm like, oh my God, the day they flee our nest,
Yep.
they're gonna
Well,
win. Do you have aging parents and you're still raising your kids? Then welcome to the sandwich generation. It can be super overwhelming, but I've got you. I wrote an ebook that helps you save time, energy, and money. And you can get your copy on thesandwichgen.com/ebook, and it will help you with all the things you need.
I think secretly in my brain, we're in such a sports centric world and a school world, and like you got to get in a great college, you got to do all this, you got to blah blah, you got to get, I got a good job, you got to corporations, blah blah blah, like everything. That I wanted to just maybe go like, hey, there's other things out there.
Yeah.
With AI coming, who knows how many jobs are going to be around, and maybe the arts are going to be a really big thing for people, even more so in the future.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be like, look, there's other things that you can do that bring joy to people, that bring happiness. And I mean, and it's not like it's all like these crazy partiers. I know that partying is a big aspect of it all, but there's like people that, like they're building $12 million art cars that have,
Oh my God.
speakers on it that rival most of the clubs that we've been to in our hometown. It's like insanity. And they're like really great professionals that are putting on really amazing sound experiences, light experiences. Just even the way that they're wiring some of these camps, it's full on power grids with massive,
like engineering and all this like talent.
It's just cool. Yeah, talent's a great thing, and it's all shared. And it's just like, this is what I'm going to bring to just make people smile for a week. And so there's a part of me that loves that. Like,
and I just love just expanding their minds and seeing that there is outside of our bubble, which is a wonderful bubble, but there is a whole world out there. Like if you want to go travel Europe, if you want to go there's things that you just got a glimpse, and they just got a glimpse into this other part of individuals, and like, hey, this guy's super cool, he might look totally different from you and you don't see him on your daily basis, and the Northwest, but like he's cool. Look how talented he is. And they were just only no one, I didn't hear our kids say one negative thing about anyone. And I mean,
and they were just interacting and walking around.
Totally.
Carson, so one of my brother's friends, Carson was talking to him, and he came back over and he goes, Dad, Antonio built the spaceman that was floating at Coachella, the really famous, like, spaceman that was hovering. And like, I'm like, there's some really amazing artists.
Totally.
And like, that's what he does. He's done this for his whole life, and like, it's neat. It's really, it's just, I always just wanted to show. And I felt like, well, the tipping point for me was when I was talking to my brother and I was like, hey, should I take the kids? Is that like a good idea? Is that a bad idea? And he goes, man, can you imagine if mom and dad took us when we were kids? And I was like, oh, that did it. I was like, yep, all right, we got to do this. We got to, because that chip is in their brain too. They still have that creative side, or they, they definitely do, Ashby more so, and Carson, but like, I just wanted to like, just be like, oh, look at this. Look at this. I think that's our role as parents, right?
Yeah.
Like, look at this, look at this, look at this. I don't know if I got enough look at that. Like I had to find a lot of it.
I think our
later
generation
on?
was different. I think when I went to Europe and backpack there, that was my like expanding
Yeah,
of
which I think
seeing
is
other
great.
things. Yeah. But I just want, especially the way I think their world is changing faster than ours did. And like, their after graduation, there might, it's just different than ours was. It's not this cookie cutter
Yeah.
thing anymore. And I just want them to see. And I think emotional intelligence is so important, and where else to do it in like this. I mean, it's just, you couldn't get more diverse. You couldn't
Yeah.
get more
Yeah.
extreme. And then I'm like, and you completely nailed that. Like, we're doing good. Like,
Yeah.
I felt really like proud and happy as a parent. I
Yeah.
felt so like honored to be their parent. Like, I was like,
Very
wow.
good. They
Yeah.
were spent Saturday night. I think it was like 2:30. We made it back to the RV because the girls had to go to the bathroom and they were tired. And I was like, does anyone want to go back out? I'm available to do whatever anybody wants to do, And Carson's like, I want to go back out. And then he got in the RV and he was just like, literally couldn't move. What did he say to you? He was like, I want to go.
He's like, I want to go, but I hurt so bad because we biked
Oh,
so
all day
much.
long.
How
Yeah.
many miles do you think we biked?
My butt hurts.
Yeah.
It still hurts. Biked a lot.
And our kids can go, like physically can go, but it was because they went all day, and then you get the heat and like all this
Oh,
stuff. So
yeah.
they had just pushed it to the limit. So it was just awesome. And I love that the last night we broke off, the five of us,
For like a little bit of
for a little
exploring
bit, just exploring on our own. And it's like there's this huge art car, the Mayan, right?
Yeah.
And this thing is what I was talking about. The lasers that come off of it looks like it's going into outer space. Like
Yeah.
you can spot it across from wherever.
It's
You can just see where it is. It is otherworldly. And I keep using that term because for me, that means just like nothing you've seen before.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay, let's follow it. It's moving slowly and it will stop. And you're like, I think it's going to stop over there. And he's like, and you were like, it's going to be a big DJ that comes out because look at the amount of people that are following.
Yeah.
There must have been thousands of people, but because of the amount of space, it doesn't feel crowded.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel, and then and then it stops. And then we pull up in front of it. Again, we have tons of space because no one's crowding because you can hear it from wherever. And then this awesome DJ comes out. And it's just like, oh my gosh. It was just so cool. And our kids were just mind blown. And just the music and the people and everyone was just in the lights and the fire and just like felt like your own like discovering of a cool special moment that not everyone there was privy to, but were, and we were like happened on it. And
I think like the only thing I could akin it or I liken it to would be like if you went to a circus that was like 3 dimensions where everywhere you look, like everywhere you looked, it was around you and just, but not the same though. A circus is always seems like it's heading in, and that's different from that and that and that and that and like.
Yeah. And the people watching, and I mean, were there nude people? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And especially after the burn, there was
they burned the man and then
they burned the man and we didn't realize there was like a nude parade.
Well, a couple hours later, I guess you can run around it. The cinders, the coals like, they're burning.
Yeah.
And people feel free and they run around.
They're just like caveman, like spirit self, whatever. And you do you. They were fine. I was like, and great, we weren't like standing right by it, but you could see it. And we were just like, cool. We don't want to. We're good. We're gonna go off on our own.
Maybe we're already way too afraid of our own bodies as is, but it wasn't for me to run.
Yeah, but I wasn't upset by it. They weren't being obnoxious. They were just doing their thing, and I'm like, cool. I'm gonna go do my thing, and we just don't want to. I'm like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm not here for that. So I'm going to just go. And it was easy to. And it was just like, there really was something for everyone. Like, you want to go jump off stuff? Here you go. I want to go do this, like swing and this. And I love that there's a roller skating rink.
And I really feel like we only tapped 15% of it, like, or maybe 20% of it. Like, it's so hard to see it all. It's so hard to experience all the kinks and see everything.
Yeah. But I think
we got a good taste.
I think it's
I'm not saying we shortchanged it. We just
perfect adventure of like you just like follow what and that they led a lot. And I feel like I don't feel cheated at all. Is it something we would do every year? No.
I think Carson, Ashby, and I could definitely do every year.
Yeah.
You and Maddie.
Maddie and I, the heat and the dust a little bit. But I mean, we rocked it. We did good. I'm very proud of us. Great. But yeah, we we were like,
there's a lot of people that go too that just they kind of hibernate during the day. They sleep during the day and come
yeah,
out at night.
I
They
just love,
vampire it
yeah,
because it's cooler.
yeah. But
Um,
I don't know. But
I like seeing both aspects of it all. It's really
yeah,
wild,
we did.
Because when Pete and I and Carson were cruising around, like you just pop in different venues and someone's giving a talk, and someone's doing yoga and they're doing this, and like you're just like, oh wow, you just look at
Yeah.
it for a couple minutes and you just move on.
Oh,
And,
totally. Because I talked to another mom who had been years before me, and she was so cute, and she was dropping back. She's like all excited we were going, and she's like, "Here's the stuff. Like,
yeah,
let me bring you some, fun things." But she was like, I swear it was like a yoga retreat. When I went, I did yoga and I did
yeah,
this and I ate
yeah,
sushi and I had smoothies. And so it's just, there is so many different things. And then Pete's camp was so cool.
yeah.
Because the one that we lucked out to be by, they had like eco toilets that didn't smell at all.
Yeah,
And
but
it was
even the
only
porta
for their
potties,
kids.
I feel bad.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying it was so fun. And then they had this huge tent for dining area and then like a dancing area. And they had like the yoga swings that Ashby was losing her mind on.
Yeah.
They had a makeup trailer that the
Yeah.
girls went in and got like the cool sticker, like those sparkly sticker things put on their face. It was just really,
It's fun.
it was so fun. Yeah, it's like,
So what's your takeaway and what's your advice for people? Would you encourage people to go? Would you encourage people to go with kids? What does it take? What kind of person does it take to go?
that's a lot of questions all
Yeah.
in one. But my first answer would be, I love that it's not for everybody.
Right.
It's
It's hard.
hard.
And I think they make it hard so
Yeah.
that you definitely choose to jump in.
And you feel like you won something. You feel like you either hiked, you accomplished
Isn't that
something
weird?
when you leave.
It's so cute.
I'm like, I did bike a lot, but like nothing, it was flat.
just keep
But you
there,
do feel like you
yeah.
accomplished something. So no, I do not think it's for everybody. But I do think that it is such a social phenomenon in our history. And I love it for that it's become so popular. I hope that even when you don't go, that you're aware of that it obviously is something cool, and to like take that as an invitation for other parts in your life. Like there's some cool stuff out there, and what you choose to look for is what you're going to get. And
Yeah.
so whether you go to your local country fair where you're going to find a little sliver of this,
Sure.
or anything, it's like if someone's looks different, acting different, but they're like cool, good human being, like let them be, like just be of that community. You know what I mean? I always love when I'm at concerts and it's like you're, at a stadium and there's tons of people and I'm like, we're probably nothing alike, but we all love this song. We're all screaming to this song.
Find the commonality,
Find the
jump in and
commonality.
enjoy the moment, which
Yeah.
is really big because that's what we have. We have this moment.
Yeah.
And if you're somewhere and there's a community of people that are enjoying or appreciating or doing something,
Yeah.
you jump into that and
Yeah.
that's really fun. It's fun to be.
And
And
if
like I said, you can find it at fairs, you can find it anywhere.
Yeah.
But
And try not to have prejudgment. Find your own,
Yeah.
like do it before you judge it, or, whatever. Just, I don't think there's any negative to it. I think it brings a lot of people joy, and a lot of people look forward to it. A lot of people get to share their magic with the world
Yeah.
at this thing. So I see nothing wrong with it. I don't have any negative feelings about it. I think what a cool thing that it's grown from literally like 10 people to 80,000 plus and all over the globe of like
That's massive.
pop-ups. Like how cool is that? What an impact. Like, so my takeaway is only positive, and that like, yeah, no, definitely if you cannot feel like you could go with an open heart and mind, do not go. It's not your place.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that on my life journey that I'm
Yeah.
able to,
Yeah.
like, and that I'm raising kids that can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, they loved it. I definitely think, 2 of the 3 are going back several other times in their life.
Yeah. And they're all different ages and stages. And I feel like, with our teen, I feel like, she loved the music and the stuff. She had parts,
Yeah.
but like maybe not, she's in between that childlike and then the adult. So she had a different channel.
trying
Yeah.
to figure out as a teen, where do I land and how do I act in
Yeah.
different situations? And
Yeah.
so I think that's partly why I wanted to be like, let's go, because it's great for her to see that, like,
Totally.
look at all these people that don't care.
But what was neat
Yeah.
is that
You know?
I had compassion for her it just made me see her through different eyes too, of like,
Yeah.
wow, like you're, you're just kind of a little bit more timid in this area. And I love you for that. Like
Yeah.
you're honoring that about yourself.
Oh, it's intense. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
it is intense, but they all,
you go out on that playa the first night, and it is.
I mean, I definitely had a moment.
Wow.
I had a mama bear moment of like, am I going to lose everybody? Are we going to be the people at F camp that were like, I just, like, oh my God. And it was totally fine. Totally
Yeah.
fine. But what's your takeaway? I don't know why I'm so emotional about it.
Yeah. What is that?
I think it's like,
It was a lot.
it was a lot.
fun.
And it was, I mean, it is one of those things. It is a core memory. You cannot find this. You have to go do this to get, I was rocked in the best way. Like, and I think I was overwhelmed by
all of it.
All of it, but in a good way, like the good way takeaway. And again, I guess it makes me emotional because of the open heart and open mind of it, and to see our whole family in that space. And that was like, oh my God, that's
awesome. They really flourished.
Yeah, they did. They totally flourished.
They connect with people in our group and just talk, and they would be with them. And we tried when we were biking around at night, we were always like, find a partner and stay with the partner.
Yeah,
our kids would stay with an adult. And they're just, cruise. And
what's your takeaway? Do you think everyone should go? What do you think?
No, I mean, I think you're right. Like you have to want to go because it is hard. I think there's a lot of people that can go that maybe don't go. I think if you do go and you are open-minded, it is so fun and it's such an amazing thing. And it's interesting too because like if you go, it's not like, oh, you're this person now. No, you just went. You did an experience. You had an experience, and like. I think shedding a lot of this negative stigma associated with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the difference between you and I is I don't really care. I really don't.
It kind of made me more excited to go when people are like, what? And I think people, I mean, obviously our friends were like,
lots
but they were, a lot of people were like, I want to go. Oh my God, I've always wanted to go. And I love that. It made me appreciate those people more because I'm like, of course you do, because you're curious and you look at the world as like, what else is there that's cool to see? Instead of, oh my God, I heard there's like, how many boobs are you going to see? It's like, it's all, I'm like, but that might be how you're living your days. I don't know.
Yeah.
And if that's you, that's cool. I just choose to be like, oh, what can we, oh my God, I can't wait to see all this cool art. I can't wait to see like
art
talented
and and just the kindness and the sharing and
like the generosity. People are literally there giving away stuff. There's no currency. There's no like, what can you do? So we brought nerd clusters, like the little Halloween, and Ashby was like giving those away, and people were like, "Oh, thank you," and they were getting stuff, and she got this beautiful parasol, that someone was like, "You look hot here. This will go perfect with your outfit," and Ashby was just like blown away, and she goes, "Do I need to give it back?" And we're like, "Did you say thank you?" And it was just, and so it was really, really special. It really was, and I am proud of us for taking the leap.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. Well, thank you. I appreciate you just allowing us. Because I talked about it for so long, and then you had an open mind and was like, "All right, let's do it."
It's good. Good time for expansion. If you loved hanging out with us, hit that follow button and share this episode with someone who could use a little midlife magic. Now go rock the rest of your day.